Okay. Just put myself over here. Go. All right. Did I forget? Oh yeah, I forgot something. Hold on. Give me a sec. All right. I think I'm good. Okay. All right. So I know I'm not gonna have the podcast tomorrow. I should fix this a little bit. You guys can see. Okay. Get up something here. Saved it. Ooh, okay. So here. All right. So we're going to discuss, and I'm gonna hold these discussions because I think these discussions are pretty out there. You know, a lot of people discuss many things. So I want to discuss the superstars who got released and where they're gonna go, because I feel like that, or like what's their next move in the future. And there possibly could be more superstars getting released. So that's another thing. We also have a new, I guess, could say, new big issue in the company, especially with it may be going up for sale. And then my thoughts on SmackDown. So I'm not going to be doing the podcast on Saturday, the days I usually do it, because I have a graduation party. I just graduated yesterday. So I have a graduation party on Saturday, and I will not make it to the podcast. I cannot do it. Hold it on that day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a discussion here now and tell you what I think about SmackDown moving forward. I think it's perfectly fine. I should have also put Raw talk, or well, something about Raw to better Raw, because I think Raw is sinking low and low and low each week. So I have a plan to make that a little bit better. I'm going to help explain what I think should happen next week on Raw, using some of the stuff that happened last week to make it make sense, because I think Raw is just going low and low and low. And with these releases, it's going to keep going low. So let's start with the release superstars, because I feel like that's a big thing. Let's start with the big one, Braun Strowman. Yes, if you saw the thumbnail, Braun Strowman's already on that list, and he was released, which made no sense to me. I'll explain, obviously. Braun Strowman literally faced Shane McMahon in a steel cage match at WrestleMania. You want something even better? He was literally in the main event at WrestleMania Backlash for the WWE title. Nope, nothing. After that, they had nothing for the big man. They really didn't. But everybody was wondering why. Why in the hell did Braun Strowman, big man, 6 foot, like 6'8", something like that, 300 and something pounds. How did he just get released? How? It doesn't make sense, guys. He was getting a salary of $1 million just to go out there. And it's the fatigue too. There's some fatigue on wrestlers, really. Okay, but it's the amount of money getting paid. So when WWE sinks and Braun Strowman or superstars like Braun Strowman are not used as much, there's money problem. There is a money problem. So that was what I heard. I heard why. I listened to WrestleMania. Shout out to WrestleMania, actually, on here. It said that Braun Strowman in 2019 was getting $1 million, and then, well, you see the company going lower and lower and lower, so money problems. Obviously, they couldn't come to an agreement. Braun Strowman got released for money issues. I thought it was creative differences because, of course, Braun Strowman's character, yeah, I mean, come on. Another for Braun Strowman, actually, I'm happy that he is. I'm happy that he got to do what he did in the WWE. I'm proud of him. Really great guy too, outside of the wrestling business. Really great guy. I haven't met him, but I've seen his social media posts and much of it, and I love it. It's awesome. Great guy. Show love and some respect to him. But moving forward for Braun Strowman, what's next for him? Well, to be completely honest, I really think that Braun Strowman should go to Impact. And yeah, you probably were thinking, oh, why not AEW? Why not, why not AEW? Well, AEW already has Big Show, and it just got Mark Henry. You already got some big men there. So for that, I think Impact would be a great place for him, especially with EC3 and him being kind of like being like kind of like friends in real life. So it'd be nice to see them actually go out and use Braun Strowman and actually make him a tag team with EC3. That'd be pretty cool, honestly. Or just make like a little group they did an Impact a long time ago. Remember when EC3 got pushed? I remember those days. I loved them. I loved it. EC3, Tyrus, Tyrus and Drake Maverick. I remember those days. It was so great. It was awesome. I remember those days. It was so like Impact at that time was so freaking good. There's no stopping. It was just so good. So to do it again, but this time a little bit bigger, is even better. Bigger, better. Even got Braun Strowman. Come on. Impact is where I say you go. The second shocking person was Aleister Black. And it made no sense to me. Again, no sense. Because on SmackDown, he was getting pushed. Now, Paul Heyman came up with the gimmick of a Dark Father. The Dark Father gimmick. The character was supposed to be a gimmick just to get the, I guess, crowd reeled into this, little, I guess you could say religious character, that they were going for. But there was some person, I think this person, I'm going to shout him out on here, on Instagram, who did it here. Who is this guy? The Wrestle Bro. Wrestle Bro on Instagram. You get a big shout out because he watched this, he watched, quote, Tommy Ends, because that is Aleister Black's name, Tommy Ends. He had a Twitch stream. For anybody who missed the Twitch stream, this person, the Wrestle Bro, covered most of it and got some of the things that he said in there. So let me start with everything on this list. Shoutouts to him. I'm using this, if this is copyright, I guess, educational purposes and fair use. I'm using it to elaborate on the fact that Tommy Ends, aka Aleister Black, is not in the WWE anymore, and what his thoughts and his, what he knows about the WWE, what his plans were. So it says, the reason that he obviously, I guess, got released, and yep, it's because of budget cuts. So you could say the same thing with Braun Strowman too. Like I said, when budget and money, $1 million, you're not getting that $1 million, and you're not used as much budget cuts. So budget cut, Braun Strowman, that's a big one too. But this is another big one. This is the second big budget cut, Braun Strowman. He then says that he and Vince had a great relationship. Same with Paul. Also, Paul Heyman was a great relationship, and Heyman pushed really hard to get him on SmackDown. He created the whole Dark Father character by himself. That was all Heyman. He has a lot of Easter eggs with Aleister's gear and promos. The colors represented who he was facing and his mood. So when we saw, obviously, like his attire, or well, the tattoos and the eye, well, not the tattoos, but the eyes. And we saw the eyes, obviously one different eye, a blue eye. Obviously, Big E, I guess, was wearing blue at the time. I guess it was like blue. I mean, I don't think, what was Big E wearing on Smack? I think it was wearing blue. I think it was wearing like blue. So that made the eye coordination with the eye and the color of Big E's suit. I think it was blue. Let me know in the comments if I'm running right. I don't know. I forget last week. Aleister Black was considered, quote, the devil with memory loss. And oh my God, that would have actually been a great, that's like Bray Wyatt had a child. I don't know with who. And also Bray Wyatt actually had a child. So like, that's even a great little tie in there. But no, it's just like this character feels like, a brother of Bray Wyatt. So nice, nice there. It was Heyman's idea to have the eye change on that episode of SmackDown when it came out. That's nice. He praises the creative team for having some good people work there. Yes, wow. Heyman praises the man. See. If we can have someone like Heyman and fucking on Raw, oh my god, Raw could probably be better. But Heyman, salutes to you. Really, salutes to you. Salutes to you. Honestly. Calls the last 2 years a slow death to the character. Obviously, Heyman calls this the slow death to the character. One of his favorite things was when people made conspiracies on Alistair and being in the Illuminati. That's actually that's interesting too. Never heard about that one. He also said Alistair said, or Tommy and says his match with Dream was when NXT put trust into him to produce his matches. Like he put like that's crazy too. You're giving a wrestler the opportunity to produce his own match, especially with Dream and NXT. Damn, WWE lost a true treasure right there. That's a true treasure. Aleister Black is a true treasure. We'll say that right now. Tagging with Ricochet was one of his favorite times in his career, as he had so much fun. And I agree. I agree with that. I think how it's said, honestly, the tag team. Now, a lot of people could disagree and say that, oh, this was just a little waste of time, especially like considering the slow death part of the character. But still, like the tag team of Ricochet, that was interesting too to see that, especially when they got that Raw Tag Team title match. I think at WrestleMania together. Crazy ass times, craziest times. Aleister Black, he was supposed to feud with Big E. His feud with Big E was supposed to start tonight. It was supposed to start tonight, guys. Tonight was supposed to be the night that Big E versus Aleister Black. That got canceled because Aleister Black is gone. So really, now the question actually now I'm supposed to like wonder, like, what really like when we saw on that episode of SmackDown, like what's like Biggie comes back, like what's supposed to happen now? Like when Biggie comes back, like I think they're gonna have to give Biggie time off. I really think they're going to have to. So then when he comes back, he can be all ready for fucking Roman for SummerSlam. That's what I think. I think Roman should take on Biggie for SummerSlam. Because think about it. John Cena versus Roman sounds like a WrestleMania match. Okay? It could be a SummerSlam match. I'm not saying that it couldn't, but it sounds like a WrestleMania match. And plus, a lot of people have been saying that Biggie versus Roman is an idea, but the question really stands, is it a WrestleMania match? Biggie versus Roman, is it a WrestleMania match? So, Biggie versus Roman, is it a WrestleMania match? Or John Cena versus or Roman versus John Cena, is that a WrestleMania match? Or is that a SummerSlam match? Put your comments down below. Honestly, I want to know your guys' opinion, honestly. Personally, I think that John Cena and Roman should fight at Mania. Roman will retain. Or one of the things you could do is, like, I know one of the things they're going to probably do at Mania, this is going to be I'll get down to another topic as well in this, and I'll praise another person who I watched, and I will talk to you guys about it after. Before I got to that one, there's another one I want to say. Tommy Ends said that Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, Brody Lee, and Apollo Crews. I'll say those again. Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, Brody Lee, and Apollo Crews. He praises those individuals. He praised all of them. All those individuals. Also, he praises Roman Reigns for being a great locker room leader and the Usos for being a good person. Good people. Being good people. That's awesome. That's great to hear. That means that Roman is a leader, Roman's a leader not just for his family, but he's a leader for the fucking whole SmackDown roster. Like, that is crazy though, too. He shuts down the reports on Vince not seeing anything in them. Those reports are not true. So the reports, there was reports about Vince not seeing anything in Aleister Black, and they're not true. They're not true. Obviously, there is, because they had a great relationship. And plus, Heyman pushed for him. And obviously, if Heyman's pushing for him, Heyman's talking to the boss, so the boss is like, yeah, sure. His NXT request wasn't shut down. It was actually praised. Vince wanted to try something with him on the main roster, and if it didn't work out, then he would go back to NXT, which is something that's great. Honestly, if that's the case, then why release him? Just bring him to NXT. If again, if you didn't have to budget cut Aleister Black, you could have sent him to NXT. Now, it could have not made sense at all. I understand. But still, you could carry the dark character with it to NXT. You could have another heel, you know? And one of the great matches you could have set up was Finn Balor versus Aleister Black. You could have done Finn Balor, the Prince. The Prince versus the Dark Father. The Dark Father. Or, well, the Dark Prince versus the Dark Father. It doesn't matter. Still, you could have had a great match right there. You just wait. I would say, an honest opinion, waste opportunity at that point. Right there. He says the dirt sheets are the most harmful, do more harmful than good. I guess so. He explains how hard a wrestler's life is, especially on the road. That is true. I've watched Ride Along. I know exactly how that is, and especially hearing about all the flights and all the traveling, it hurts a wrestler's life. He actually thinks about Tommy Ends thinks about his own wrestling school, opening his own wrestling school. That is actually pretty good too. I would attend. I would love to attend. He doesn't, and now just remember this when I say this. Tommy Ends doesn't own the Aleister Black character. I want you to remember, when you are released from the WWE, whatever wrestling name you had, it stays with the company. It stays. It stays there. It's done. Gone. It stays with the company. Aleister Black always wanted to be in the Elimination Chamber match. He also does have a 90-day no-compete clause. And one big thing here, he actually he thanks his people who made his gear. Just wanted to touch that. He wanted to touch that out. But he calls Andrade, and I quote, one talented motherfucker, and wants to wrestle him again. If this is the case, I love this. And you know what would be nice? You know what would be really nice? And to hear that, it's nice because obviously his wife, Zelina, Trinidad, aka Zelina Vega, manage Andrade. So to obviously have Tommy Ends say that about Andrade is nice. I like it. It's just respects. If they do that, that's great too. You know, if they want to do that wrestling match, great. Ends confirms that he was supposed to, and yes, in 2020, somewhere late 2020, sorry, he was supposed to win the U.S. title. Yes. So if this is late 2020, I'm going to say Hell in a Cell. It should have been the night he won it. He should have won the title. Or TLC. But yet, again, remember the draft, he drafted to SmackDown. So, like, he can't get the United States Championship. Which does suck. But again, he wants to use the U.S. title, but Vince didn't want to have him win the title in front of nobody. And then the last thing he has here, he was only supposed to be gone from TV for 6 to 8 weeks, but he was gone for 7 months. That is crazy, though. That's crazy. Very crazy. It's everything that was from a stream. Thank you to the Wrestle Bro on Instagram. Go give him a follow. Great guy. Great guy. Great guy for doing that. Tommy Ends, I do hope you go many places. One of the biggest places you should go is AEW or New Japan. New Japan would be perfect for you, but AEW would be a little bit better, especially for Andrade and Zelina Vega. Or Trinidad, your Aleister Black, Tommy End's wife. So I really think that should be the case. Now, again, WWE, if they can get their money up from episode of SmackDown, they could probably bring back Aleister Black and the Dark Father. Could probably bring him back somehow, some way. They could probably get him back. I don't know exactly, but they could get him back probably. The chance. The next person I want to talk about, he's actually on the thumbnail as well. Buddy Murphy. He's another one I think who should go to AEW or New Japan. Anywhere Aleister Black goes, Buddy Murphy should be right there with him. Buddy Murphy actually touched up on his time in the WWE, how he spent a lot of time, in the ring and out of the ring, and he hopes wherever he ends up, he prevails and does successful. I think it was on Twitter. He said it. Praise to Murphy, great guy as well. But yeah, I think that, and they actually wanted to do Murphy versus Aleister at a WrestleMania match. I've seen them fight before, but like it would have been nice to do it. I think it'd be nice to do it in AEW. Be nice to do in AEW. And here's the worst thing too. The worst thing about releasing Aleister Black right now is that WWE used the Dark Father character. I'm not sure if, and this is only if, I don't know. Now I know about names. I know that the Aleister Black name is WWE copyright. Like that name is stuck there. Okay, that is stuck there with them. It's with WWE. But I'm not sure about a character he plays. So if the Dark Father character, and I think I already said that. He doesn't. Okay, so again, he said he doesn't own the Aleister Black character. So, but we have the Dark Father character. So I don't know if this is a thing where if he goes to AEW will pick up off of that and probably put him with Brody Lee's Order Alliance. But RIP to Brody Lee, great guy, took it from us too soon. But yeah, I think going forward, Murphy should join. I have nothing really much on Murphy, especially like his run in the company with Seth Rollins and all that. Like honestly, it was just a back and forth relationship. Oh, I don't like you, Seth. Oh, I do like you, Seth. I don't like you, Seth. Oh, I'm gonna join back with you. Make up your mind. Seth Rollins literally at this point don't need anybody. But Murphy, end up New Japan or AEW, you would be a golden treasure over there. You'll be treated like a son over there. Promise. Look at the superstars that were in WWE and now are over there. It's great. Let's get on to the women on the side. And I want to talk about the next woman who is also on the thumbnail, Lana. This was no surprise. Lana got tortured for weeks. A little build-up near Hell in a Cell time back then. 9, maybe 10 weeks through a table. I think 9 weeks. Put through the announce table by fucking Nia Jax. And I think, and I hope I'm wrong about this, and it makes perfect sense, logically thinking about it. Lana got put through those tables because Rusev, her husband, went to AEW. But he got released. You released him. So why are you punishing Lana? You're punishing Lana because what? Miro is in AEW? Or Rusev's in AEW? Now being Miro? Like, you're mad at that? So you're going to punish his wife? Man, at that point, after those 9 weeks, I would have been like, I would have quit. If I was Lana, I would have quit. But again, when you got Naomi in a tag team, anything really can happen. But now Naomi's like fucking by herself. Like, what happened? You took away Ravishing Glow. And she was so excited. Like, all these people that got released were so excited to be back in front of fans, and now they won't get to. Will not get to. So I hope when they bring back the fans, there better be a person with a sign, like with Murphy, a Murphy sign, a Black sign, a Strowman sign, a Lana sign, like all these signs of the wrestlers who got fucking released. Like, I do hope that there are signs out there when we get back to crowds. I do hope that. Next person that was also released, unfortunately, Ruby Riott. Now, this kind of scares me, and I will tell you after I get to the last person. Actually, I should give it to the last person. This person was on NXT. Santana Garrett. Nothing much on her. but she got released. So for her, I think that she should go to probably indie circuit. I guess that'd be probably the best. I didn't really know her. She was in the back. I didn't really see her on much of the NXTs now. But still, focus aside, focus on back to here. We got Ruby Riott. For Lana, also, I want to go back to Lana too, but Ruby Riott got released. I'm sorry. Ruby Riott had a very good run, especially in the tag team. Like, we saw a tag team match against the tag team champions and the Riot Squad. Like, this is coming back. I thought, and that's what I thought that Natalya and Tamina were going to take on the Riot Squad at Hell in a Cell for the championships, and the Riot Squad were going to win. That would have been so perfect. I'm telling you, that would have been perfect if they won. Obviously, we needed more title run for them. We need much of a more title run for Natalya and Tamina. So obviously, maybe defending the titles at Hell in a Cell would have been nice. But again, them picking up the victory. And you could have had one-on-one matches. Liv Morgan versus Natalya. Ruby Riott versus Tamina. And have both of them roll up both the champions so they get that opportunity. But I guess at Hell in a Cell, we're getting the only two tag teams. And yes, I made sure I saved this too. Ladies and gentlemen, since Lana is gone, that means that Ravishing Glow is no more. Since Ruby Riott is gone, there is no more Riot Squad. Therefore, we got a big issue. Ruby Riott, I best hope find in the indie circuit. She could go to AEW, especially with Liv Morgan's comment saying whoever gets her wins. Whoever gets Haiti Lovelace wins. And then Lana, I forget her, CJ Perry. Whoever gets her, I think she should go with her husband on AEW. Same with the other releases of Cassie Lee and Billy McIntosh. Should go to AEW. Would be nice. It really be nice. But now we got a big issue, and this is the big issue that I want to talk about, and then I will get on to why I think that the tag team champions, the women's tag team champions, Natalya and Tamina, will take on Mandy Rose and Dana Brooks at Hell in a Cell for the tag team titles. They will obviously Dana Brooks and Mandy Rose will lose, but still, this is the big problem. Those two teams, those two women teams, are the only tag teams in the WWE now. Yep, WWE got a big issue after this release. It says here, according to I'm reading from on Instagram, Wrestling World CC. Thank you. And we got right here. He says, following the uncertainty of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler's tag team, plus the recent WWE releases of splitting up the Riot Squad and Ravishing Glow, the entire women's tag team division is now down to two teams: Natalya and Tamina, Mandy Rose, and Dana Brooks. This is a problem for sure. I will and it's simple. You need women tag teams, and you just got rid of two. And the fact that they're going to split up Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, they're going to. They're going to. You already seen it. I mean, is this a good thing? Or is this a bad thing? Well, before when we had Ravishing Glow and like the Riot Squad, it was a good thing to split them up. Now, since you got rid of fucking Lana and Ruby Riott, it's a bad thing. It's really bad. You might as well keep them together. But I guess we're moving forward, and I guess we're gonna have Alexa Bliss versus fucking Shayna Baszler. I guess. I don't know what to say. Like, what else? What else can what other fucking thing can WWE do? Like, WWE might as well call up some more fucking tag teams, or put one thing I hated that they did was get rid of the Iconics. Hated that shit, man. I blame you, WWE. This is what you get. This is what you honestly get. And if the people don't watch your content, well, then I will get to the now sales part, I guess. But before that, we need to talk about a little picture I found from Wrestling Source _ of the current SmackDown roster. We got 5 tag teams. I'm happy we got 5 tag teams. Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, Otis and Chad Gable, the Usos, Street Profits, and the Mysterios. I'm happy that there are 5 tag teams on there now. For the women's division, Natalya and Tamina, Carmella, Bayley, Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, and someone who's supposed to actually show up, I think, on the night of Big E versus, or actually, yes and no, of Big E, the return of this character, Mia Yim. Now, this would have blown the roof off the stands, I swear, because this would leave some questions and eyebrow raising. Where the fuck is Keith Lee? Where is that man? And this is what I'm going to talk about next. But let me tell you about the singles run for the men. You have, obviously, Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz, Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura, Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, Big E. Who is that? Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and some other fucking dude I do not know of. Right there, let me just zoom in and check. Who is that? I don't know. It looks like Shane Thorne, but it could be like Slapjack. Obviously, Slapjack. I guess Shane Thorne's now on SmackDown, guys. I don't know. He's back. Obviously, he's not Slapjack anymore. Anyway, current SmackDown roster. Gotcha. But now we need to talk about what could be next for more superstars getting released, because more superstars could be on their way getting released. And these are the names that this source says. We have from none other than a picture from the Instagram user wrestling_MPW. He says here that there are more releases to come, and the names are Liv Morgan, Keith Lee, Angel Garza, and Humberto Carrillo. This kind of scares me, especially the two names that literally popped up, Liv Morgan and Keith Lee. Keith Lee is a big star, and I feel like he should go to NXT. If anything, there should be no budget cuts on that man. But there's problems in the back with him and Vince. So I don't know what's going on. He hasn't been on TV. There's something else going on. They need to think of something. So here, WWE, if you ever catch this video or this live stream, if you ever watch it after I end it later on, I will tell you right now, you have two options at this point to do with Keith Lee. And you could bring him back, but obviously you could say that he was on a hiatus. You could kayfabe and say he was on a high fucking hiatus. Or, what you could say is that, well, we're going to use him for something else. Leaving a little opening for like, oh, well, what are you going to use him for? Something, right? You might as well put him in the world title. But WWE, if you want to bring Keith Lee back, you have two options, really, at this point. The hiatus idea, or you throw his ass on NXT. I don't know what to say. Or put him on SmackDown. Let him feud with Roman Reigns. That'd be a great feud. I remember 2019 SmackDown versus NXT or Raw versus NXT versus SmackDown. That was pretty fucking good. So to see it happen in fucking SmackDown, be great. And and that would be with his wife. His wife would be on SmackDown. Put his ass on SmackDown. But yes, we did see him on Raw, so like I don't fucking know. I don't know. Just rough. And Liv Morgan, man, like WWE would be stupid to budget cut Liv Morgan, because they literally made a whole fucking documentary on her, Live Forever, and I watched it. It was so fucking amazing. Not only that, but I've said before on this, Liv Morgan and Cesaro are my favorite wrestlers in the WWE today. So if she's cut, I'm pissed. She better not, because I don't want to be pissed. Plus, she didn't even get to become SmackDown Women's Champion or Women's Champion. I don't even know if she became I don't even know if she became a like women's tag team champion. But she spent time in NXT to go to the main roster and not win anything. Like, that's bullshit. Same with, I think, Ruby Riott. But I'm not sure. That sucks. They get rid of Liv Morgan. They already got rid of Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan. It sucks. It really fucking sucks. I don't know. But those are the superstars. Angel Garza is surprising too. Humberto Carrillo, he's doing so well, you might as well keep him. And Angel Garza has a feud with Drew Gulak, so that's pretty good too. You're utilizing, like, that's great. WWE, that is something I can say you're great for. You're utilizing talent. You've seen Angel Garza, and you're utilizing him against Drew Gulak. That is fucking awesome. That's great. He actually has a feud. And he makes word on his promise. He was gonna he was gonna kick a rose up Drew Gulak's ass. He kicked the rose up Drew Gulak's ass. He was gonna shove this rose down your nose. He shoved the rose down his nose or his mouth. The rose down your mouth. Shove them. It's a feud. It's still good. You're utilizing talent. That's great. There's something else you should do, Raw. And I'm gonna get to that. There's something else you should do. You should utilize talent. Give me 1 second. All right, I am back. I'm sorry about that. Some people want to say because I graduated. Thank me on my graduation. So, I gotta get my phone. All right, so what I was gonna get onto was I feel like I lost my train of thought. All right, that was anyway. So yeah, okay. So obviously, again, we need to talk about how they fixed Raw. Forgot to put that in there, but there's more really to talk about in this discussion too. I should actually put a list in the description. I'll probably edit it in the description, but there is a thing for Raw that I feel like it would be nice to fix up for the episode of Raw for next week. And I think this idea would be good, and I'll explain every little D for Raw, what should happen, because it's just it's sinking. We need to fix it. So how do we fix it? Well, here's what I think should happen for next week of Raw. SmackDown has 2 title matches tonight, the Intercontinental and the SmackDown Tag Team. For Raw next week, to kick it off, WWE, if you are watching, use this idea. This is a template idea for Raw. You don't have to do it, but this is a great use. Great use. And I'll explain how logically it makes sense. So I'm going to take some of the things that were from last week, and I'm going to put it into this template for Raw, something that Raw creative team, or anybody from Raw, producer, anybody can use for this Raw, or WWE can use for Raw. To start off, we're going to kick off the show with Bobby Lashley. Obviously, we need to hear from the champ and his title match set for Hell in a Cell. Obviously, it would be nice to have a Hell in a Cell match, Bobby Lashley and Drew. All right, so back. Raw. Gonna go fast with this, okay? Kick off Raw. Bobby Lashley. I'm sorry, people keep calling me. I'm getting buzzes. Bobby Lashley kicks off Raw. We got MVP talking. Oh, they're gonna talk about all of Drew, okay? The focus for Bobby Lashley and MVP is on Drew. Everything about Drew. Surprisingly, Drew does not come out at all. Kofi comes out, and he acknowledges the fact that he lost against Drew McIntyre. Obviously, he's not going to get that opportunity at Hell in a Cell. But tonight is not Hell in a Cell. Tonight is Raw, and tonight it should be something big and better. So he does not disregard the fact that he pinned Lashley 2 weeks ago on Raw. Or was it 3 weeks ago? I'm confused in the fucking dates. I think it's 2 weeks ago. He pinned him 2 weeks ago, so he should get a WWE title match. So Adam Pearce makes it official. Adam Pearce says that Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship as the main event. But MVP is not the one to mess with. MVP does put out a little stipulation to this match. Okay? He finds that this match could cost him, that this title match could cost him if Drew McIntyre is to interfere. So MVP comes up with the idea of the stipulation being, if Drew McIntyre interferes or comes down to ringside at all during the match, he will lose his WWE opportunity at Hell in a Cell. It makes sense. Drew McIntyre will not come out during that match. Promise. And trust me. We kick off Raw with a match. We got to kick it off with a match. What match could we have? Well, I think a good kickoff match is a 6-man tag team match. Raw already brought back Jinder. So if Raw brought back Jinder, we need to fucking put him in a match, especially with the two guys he's had a match with. So Jinder will team up with his squad, or his two boys in the back, to take on the team of the Viking Raiders and Masoon. I think that's how you say it. Masoon. The match will go on. Don't know how long WWE will do it, but the ending of the match is simple. Mustafa Ali interrupts and interferes. Of course, a lot of people hate interrupting and interfering, but he interferes in the match and he costs Masoon. Yes, Masoon is a legal man. Jinder Mahal is a legal man. He interferes. Jinder catches him off guard, hits the Colossus. 1, 2, 3. It's over. Jinder and his group win. This sets up a great match that we could see on Raw between Mustafa Ali, and Masoon. This is a great match. Both high flyers, so great. Honestly, Ali could help Masoon forward, especially with his day at work. So obviously going to be hard, but still, it'd be nice to see that happen. It's great. It's great. Moving forward, we could get a little backstage, whatever. I guess WWE likes doing that shit. But we don't have to do that backstage shit. We can go to our next match. Okay? We can get backstage with Drew McIntyre, whatever. I don't know. Something. Okay? For this match, we got Mandy Rose taking on Natalya. The end, don't know how long it's going to go, but the ending, Mandy Rose does a devastating move, the most devastating move in all sports and entertainment, surprise roll-up. It's always used. That's going to happen. No distraction, no nothing. It's just a roll-up. That's it. Mandy Rose pins Natalya to then make sure that they are the tag team to face at Hell in a Cell. So whatever. It's whatever. We can cut to the back, and we can get our third match. Or so. And actually, to make this a little bit more better, we could get a little maybe scene from third match. I don't know if the third match. I'll have to think about it, sit on it, think about it. I think it said. We can get something from RK Bro. But I think this is the third match because I gotta think if that's the fourth match or so. Because I think what I have in there is AJ Styles versus Matt Riddle with Randy and Amos both ringside. You obviously know the main event. I think I'm going to do 7 matches here. So Bobby Lashley and Kofi are the main event, the WWE title. The 6th match, because I'm going in different orders, obviously. So 4th match, AJ and Riddle. Randy Orton at ringside. Amos at ringside. 6th match of the evening, tag team match. Asuka returns. Yep, we get Asuka returning. She'll be a promo after the 4th match. You get a promo there. Then you got Asuka teaming in the 6th match. You got Asuka and Nikki Cross taking on Rhea and Charlotte. This match is made from Sonya Deville. Asuka and Nikki will pick up the victory. Asuka will pin Charlotte, making her look a little bit bad. Because we need to make the champion look good. Can't make Charlotte. Obviously, we can make Charlotte look like a dumbass or idiot, whatever. But Nikki Cross will complain about her opportunity. But obviously, I don't want her to do Asuka versus her because it makes no sense. Do Nikki Cross and Asuka taking on both of them. 6th match. 5th match. We could do something with R-Truth in the title and how Kevin Patrick, remember on Raw, Kevin Patrick and all that. Think my mom's home, so I gotta go help. But I'll be right back. I'll try to keep the stream going. I'm gonna end it here and then I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I promise.